All right, here's a Sundance movie that I tried to watch, but it wasn't online. Didi. Speaking of Sundance for 2025, a lot of these movies don't look good at all. But was Didi a good movie? Let's find out. Cillia here with the Blue Futon reviewing Didi. So what's it about? Pretty simple premise. We're following a young Asian kid in 2007, 8, 9. Yeah, 2007. He's going it's like 2000. No, that's a lie. No. Cillia here with the Blue Futon reviewing Didi. So what's it about? Pretty simple premise. We were following an Asian kid in 2008 that's about to enter high school, and we're in the summer cycle of what's he gonna do with his mother, his grandmother, his sister, his friends, his skateboarding buddies, and where is his dad in the picture, and will he survive the summer, or will he earn a conscience of maybe, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be such a horrible son. And so did I like this film? It's a well-crafted hour-and-a-half movie. That's what it is. It truly works. And what works about this film is the writing, where it's like, you know what, kids talked like this. Teenagers, high schoolers do still talk like this. How I know this is I go to a boys and girls club or a New Horizons where kids kind of go there with anger management. And oh my God, 6th graders, 5th graders, 4th graders, high schoolers, N-words getting thrown out. Not just by black kids, white kids. Language, you're just like, oh, I was terrified to even say these language, not even from my parents, just in front of anyone in general. Like, it was just like, no, I wouldn't even have the conscience to say this stuff. But here, it wasn't like, racial slurs. It was more just like, oh, yeah, that was it. Of course, sometimes you're young, you said, gay, or look at Keanu Reeves and Bill and Ted. You hug someone, fag. So it's like, the joke of that really does work. And it, to me, yes, there's language like that in this movie, and guilty. It happens in today's day and age. Happened in 2007, 2008. It's happening right now. The aesthetic, the Facebook, the MySpace, it worked. The MySpace was absolutely hysterical in this movie, and what it happened and what is occurring throughout these characters. This was more of a drama than I thought it was going to be, because the trailer made it sound like a coming-of-age comedy, but it's more than that. It's more of him, a relationship with his sister, relationship with his mother, and how he's trying to fit in with which clique he works with. Because the first clique was like a Pakistani and another Asian kid, and it kind of went to the wayside of just him being a little bit awkward of trying to get with a girl. Then it goes to the skater kids, him kind of lying. And that's what the whole thing about. He kept lying and lying and lying to try to get the cliques he wants to get to. But if he was just true to himself, he would be A-okay, lying about he made a film, or lying about knowing what he wanted about his Asian dad, lying about, with the girl, just being embarrassed. Like, it's okay to be embarrassed at that age of being like, are you nervous? Absolutely. Are you embarrassed about some shit? Absolutely. Even adults are still embarrassed about half the shit they do. Kissing, things like that. Performing in bed, everything like that. It's still a thing from high school to growing up. Welcome to freaking life. And so when you get the aesthetic look of this, the actual story of this, it really works with trying to connect with these kids, and it does work in a realistic manner. I don't know if this is the unrealistic part, though, is how some of these teenagers act. Yes, my sister, yeah, she did act up pretty hardcore growing up, running away and stuff like that for some eras. And maybe my brother also did stuff. I remember going around the corner and my dad hitting, spanking my brother for doing bad stuff when he was, in first grade. And I was like, oh, I see that. I see what my sister's doing. So I was kind of the good, quiet middle child that refused to do anything bad, even though I did some bad stuff. I mean, now I've done guilty, but I was just more of, on the cautious side. And so when you see, and I never really, said mean stuff to my parents like that. And having some of the dialogue in this movie made me uncomfortable. It's like, damn, some kids actually think like this, and they actually probably have these dialogue, episodic thoughts with their parents. I was like, it felt dirty, but it probably has happened throughout time, before Jesus, after Jesus, where teenagers are just dicks to their parents, and they finally realize, maybe I shouldn't be a dick, or maybe I should just be truthful to myself. And I think this story does a good job with telling who this kid is and what he should do to be true. I do wish they kind of explained a little bit more about the father character, or some of these other cliques, especially with like, I like some of the things where he would be a dick to his mom, but the skateboarder kids were like, what are you doing? Why are you talking to your mom like that? That makes no sense. And he thinks it's a cool thing to talk bad about your mom. And it's more like, no, it's not. It never is all right to talk bad about your mom, who is trying to be nice to the kids of like, oh yeah, I'm doing the painting and, things like that. So stuff like that irked me a little bit, but it is a movie-going experience to push the movie forward. So overall, Didi, I think it's a well-looking aesthetic movie where it brings the 2007's to life, full frontal with the skateboarding scene, the click scene. And I'll say one thing, I'm glad I didn't grow up in California and having these weird-ass schools like this. I grew up even though I did a weird-ass school in East Texas, being only class like 58 graduating people as a senior in high school, it still was, what? We didn't have clubs. It was more sports and band and doing stuff like that. So I think it was normal, and everyone knew each other in that school. So it was never awkward, and even if you were a dick to someone, everyone knew about it, and it was kind of a hush-hush, like, or why are you being a dick? It was never hush-hush. That's what I meant. It was never hush-hush. People knew people's business in a small school like this. But overall, Didi, I thought it was a well-crafted movie, well-acted, well-shot. This is a great Sundance film, even though I'm seeing it a year freaking later. And like I said, looking at other Sundance films that look maybe like this for 2025, all of it just seems way too damn political. And Didi isn't, and thank God for just a good movie experience. So Didi will receive a 4 out of 5 Futons, which equals at 80%. So see the critics' news scores gave this one. Critics a 96% with 123 of them. Audience score a 91% with over 250. Critic consensus. A semi-autobiographical love letter to teenage angst that also slyly self-critical. Didi is a deeply moving personal statement by writer-director Wang. Absolutely. I think it's fantastic on that level. But like I said, there are some levels in this movie where I felt like it was overblown. Maybe it wasn't overblown for Wang, but for me, it just felt dirty, and I felt bad for the mom. Like, I really, really did. And that's why I think I may be hindering this movie a little bit. Because, man, that mom just takes so much shit. And it was a hurt to the gut. It did hurt the gut. So 96, 91, 80. Chase Hawk here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know things Blue Futontopia. You Blue Futonians, thank you for watching. Have a great day. I'm going to take tomorrow, week from now, month, and a year from now. We're seeing a freaking one of you. And you know what? Be nice to your mom and dad. Be nice to your mom. Come on now.